to another episode of Stuck in Middle Podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Uncle AK. Don't forget, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like us on Facebook, email us at sitmpodcast237@gmail.com for questions, comments, referral concerns. We'd love to hear from you. Stuck in the Middle is sponsored by advertising. This episode is brought to you in partnership with Perfect Office Solutions, providing affordable, professional, and flexible private office space starting at just $4.99. Use promo code SITM Podcast to get 10% off your monthly lease. Again, the promo code is SITM Podcast to get 10% off your monthly lease. Now let's start the show. Today in the building, we have a very special guest. Some of you probably know him, most of you don't, but we're going to hear from him. He got something special coming up. I keep hearing people talk about this cat, you know what I mean? So I cannot wait to dig in. Listeners and watchers in the house today, in the building, we have Sierra Leone's own. Sierra Leone, right?
Yep.
Yes, sir. Troy. Man, if I butcher your last name, please forgive me.
Massa. You got it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. He's the founder. He's the founder and president of Africa Give Back International, and also a creative and art director for all things Ankara. Hey, Babyface Assassin, and a brand curator. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Troy Massa to Stuck in the Middle Podcast. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Thank you, man.
How you doing? How you feeling?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm great. Feeling good. Just getting ready for some things we have coming up. And thank you guys for bringing me in.
Man, no doubt.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Who is Troy?
All right, Troy Massa. As he already said, I'm a Sierra Leonean. I have a background actually in medicine and health. And I'm also the founder and president of Africa Gives Back International. The background with that organization is breaking the idea of Africans always asking and never giving. We'll get into that. I know you're going to ask.
Yeah.
And I'm also a celebrity creative director and also on board for All Things Ankara's art director and creative director. Also help out brands that specialize in cultural aesthetics, from fashion, art, music, etc. So I do it. I don't do it all. I'm not a jack of all trades, but I do have my hands in different pots.
That's dope, man. Let's peel this onion layer by layer.
You
know, that is, man, it's just too much, you know, listening to that intro. I wish I could, you know, talk about myself like that, like, you know, this, that. But anyways, let's start with a creative director, man. Like,
All right.
Who is a creative director? What constitutes a creative director?
So, you know, we have this term now as millennials, or in this generation, we say we're creatives.
Right.
So what's the next step of being a creative? It's what are you producing? So I think everyone is a creator because we were made by the creator. Mm-hmm. So not to preach here, but I mean, we are all creative, right?
Preach.
We're all creators. We're all creatives. So it's like, what's the next step? What are you going to be known for? What is your niche market? For instance, you guys are doing media marketing with this podcast and you're putting other people on.
Right.
So that's your creative base. Mm-hmm. Mine is more on the art scene and as well as helping other brands, you know, escalate themselves in a cool African aesthetic way. Way before Black Panther came out, I mean, we were the ones, our generation was the one who had to endure like African booty scratcher stuff or overhearing it. Once they find out, regardless of what your last name is, once they find out you're African, what is it? You know how that went.
Yeah.
So it wasn't so anyways, back to your question about being a creative director. It's basically putting together visuals, putting together an idea and bringing it to fruition. So bringing it to life.
Right.
That could mean so many things. That could be a fashion show. Like, what's the next step? How do we look like what we're seeing on the runways? It could be music-wise. How do we make this video look like a Drake video?
Right.
Make it poetic and make sense. How do we make this brand stand out compared to the next one that looks exactly the same? Mm-hmm. So that's what a creative director is. It's very broad, but once you find your niche, like I really do a lot in the arts, fashion, as well as brands. Like I said, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's just you got to find your niche. That's what a creative director is. Once you find that niche and you bring yourself forward and you bring things to fruition, that's when I think you can put that label of I'm a director, I'm a producer. I don't know if that answers the question.
No. That makes perfect sense. Okay. I mean, most people don't wake up like most people when they're born, they just don't grow up saying I'm a creative director. Yeah, we're all creatives, but
Right.
it takes that special eye, to bring out, to make something pop.
Right.
Did anybody in your family, mom, dad, did they, were they involved in the arts,
I
anything
mean,
like that?
no.
Where did this come from?
I'm not saying all Africans are not in the arts, but like typically you don't have a lot of Africans in the arts and promoting it. But my family does support. They always supported. They're like, go and do what's good for you. Just try it and see what works. And I think that's what happened. I didn't wake up and think, oh, I'm gonna be a creative director, because I didn't know what that was until starting to watch like different shows on TV, see what it is, maybe sitting in once in a while for shoots and productions, just randomly, and saying, oh, this is cool. I always had a knack for science and the arts, but I never explored what the arts was. So if I were to go back to school, I would basically do like both, like really be in tune to both of them. Like,
How do you put art and science? How do you create a balance? Because Stuck in the Middle is all about finding that,
Yeah.
bridging two worlds.
Yeah.
So how do you put art and science together?
I mean, it goes back to what you're saying about us being creatives in this generation. I think we're all multifaceted, and we're not like a one-hit wonder or one skilled type of person. All of us we may have many skills, so you have to try everything out and see what you're good at. I really do not think that everyone is like good in only one thing. I highly doubt it, because if that's the case, we wouldn't have a lot of these things that we're using
Yeah,
or
that's
looking
true.
at today.
Right.
Yeah.
Right now you're working with Nikki Billie Jean. Shout out to
Yeah.
Nikki. We've had on the podcast before.
She's cool.
She's cool.
Great. She's
just,
great.
Just cool.
She's great. No, she's cool. She's like an easygoing. She's like beyond creative. She's super creative. I mean, when it comes down to even just African aesthetics, on how she's pulling in fabrics into visuals, of course I help, but I'm just saying she's awesome, because there's not a lot of other people out there that are like, you know what, let's put Africa on in this way. And she found her niche.
Right.
And she's taken off, like literally taking off. Yeah.
As the creative director of all things in Cara.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Looking at Nikki, you know what I mean? Babyface Assassin, I call her.
Babyface assassin.
She comes off as that person who, is very in tune with her style. It's like, I want it to be this way.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
So working with her, and also, looking from IG and stuff like that, they said picture tells 1,000 words.
Yeah.
When I'm looking you or her, you guys have different styles.
Right.
How do you guys bring your styles together? Like avoid all the arguments and all whatnot.
I don't think we have arguments. I think we may have disagreements, because we are individuals. We both have different ideas, and that's probably what makes our visuals so awesome, because we put them together and mesh it together. She may think this extreme, I may think this extreme. At the end of the day, it's how are we collaborating? How are we going to make this work? And that's it. I don't really believe in arguments, because it's a waste of time. Because at the end of the day, you can create some sort of agreement or a middle ground. So I think that's what these visuals are. They're a middle ground towards her great expertise and my great expertise. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Never thought about it that way, but yeah. We all look up to somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For example, me doing this, great podcast thing,
Right.
from listening to other people and thinking, yo, we could actually pull this off. For you, who's that person?
I don't think I have one individual per
Hey.
se, but
So how do you know when you're on the right path or not? Or you just so believe in yourself that
I don't.
you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's I so believe. You have to believe in yourself. You got to be
Of course,
cocky. Let
of
me
course,
not lie.
of course,
You
of
got to
course,
be
yeah,
confident
yeah,
in
yeah.
yourself. There's no direct path. I think this is the generation where you're gonna create your own path. Let me not lie to you, but nothing in this world is really original. It has been done before, but it's what are you doing to your own twist? I don't know. Everyone should have an idea. I have an idea of where I want to be, and I'm pretty sure you have an idea where you want to be.
Right.
I don't think there's just any one person who you can look at and be like, oh, hey, let me follow his path. Because if that's the case, you're just following someone else's road. And if they went down the wrong road, you're going to follow them too.
I mean, I'm just hoping when you're falling, you're using your brain too. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, well, I'm not copying him per se, but I'm just seeing
You're
how he
learning.
got learning,
I
type
got
of
you.
thing.
Exactly. If that's
Where
the
do you
case.
draw inspiration from?
Culture. A lot of it's from culture. Growing up, we used to listen to, my family used to listen to a lot of Makossa, Sakus. I used to always watch, and I still do watch, like a lot of like African African art documentaries. Though you remember those Indian movies from back in the day? We used to watch those things too. Even African movies too. Like there's so much. And then also, I'm not from a French speaking country, but I did used to watch a lot of subtitled movies. Like there's a Salif Keita movie about, it was like a twist on Moses. It was like a weird twist on Moses on out in the desert. I watch those sort of things. And still to this day I watch like different type of creative work.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't watch movies with subtitles?
Yeah.
How do you get to learn like a new language
Right.
yourself? You know, and that's, I feel like that's the best way to actually learn a
Right.
language. You know,
Right.
Yeah, yeah. Is there a specific design that, it's sitting there upstairs that you haven't actually put forth to light? That's like you itching to put out, but you feel like this is not the right time.
I don't know, because I'm like, is there ever the right time?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother, for example,
Right.
Reflex, shout out to Reflex.
He's dope.
Yeah,
Reflex.
yeah,
Thanks,
yeah.
man. I wish you were here, but it's all right. We'll meet.
Now, Reflex is always like, man, this is not the right time to do this, man. I feel like it's too early, like if you have all these things in your brain,
Right.
just yelling at you, like how do you adjust? How do you cope on a daily basis?
Right. So what I do, like organizing wise, I think is what you're asking. Make notes. Like notes are just awesome. Draw something, write something down. Visual wise, like creative directing, I don't know. I don't wait. We probably will push things back just to make sure everything's in order, but we don't wait. Personally, we don't wait, because if we continue waiting, another idea will come up and then that one will just flow away, and then you're like, all right, what was that idea again? All right, never mind, it's old news, let's go somewhere. Just put it out there and market it the best way you can. That's what I believe.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears.
Strategically though, everything's
Strategically.
strategic. So if you're waiting, it's got to be for a real reason, like, oh, okay, something is coming out, let's just wait and then hop on to that trend.
Strategically.
Yeah. Strategic, man. It's marketing, this is the life, this is the day and the age. If you can't market yourself, where you at?
You don't expect somebody else to do it for you.
Right.
What's your take on? Well, lately we see a lot of people coming out, they're breaking off into doing consulting and all
Right.
whatnot. What's your take on that? Do you feel like that market is going to get saturated? Is it saturated? What's your take on that?
I don't think it's saturated, because as long as you find your niche, because basically what I'm doing is basically consulting. I think basically what do you call it, Nikki? Babyface assassin?
Yeah.
That's basically consulting too, as well as what you guys are doing. Y'all have other divisions in your in the podcast. I think it's all based on niche. And if you're good at something, someone definitely is going to see you. I've helped brands, and I would consider that consulting. It's about your niche and believing what you're good at, to tell you the truth. I don't think it's saturated. As long as you're following what you're really good at and what you really think is going to bring you forward and what you can help the world with or another person with, keep on. Keep on.
That's a creative, right?
Yeah.
I know with your character, for example. I mean, I don't know your character, but I'm just saying.
Hopefully.
With your character.
Yeah, I got you.
How do you align yourself with the right person to work with? Say, for example, somebody hires and wants
Right.
to hire you. How do you align yourself with them? I mean, I know you just don't pick
Right.
any and everybody.
Right.
So what are the character traits you look for?
There's a criteria, and the criteria is, it's not so much of can the person do it or do I believe in the person. It's about how can we both better each other? How can we both benefit? Forget about monetary. How can we both benefit? Is this person really going to be able to progress with this information? Or are they going to use this information I'm giving them and be like, oh, okay, cool, I have the info, but I'm not going to put it to work. I'm a put it to work person. If you're not going to take advice, that's okay, but learn from it, because I like to learn from fault and learn from other people, like you were saying. I listen. So if you're not a good listener, it's going to be hard, because that's the only way to progress in this world. Sometimes you got to shut your mouth up and listen and then learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, every day is, I mean, you learn something new every single day, you know what I mean? If you don't, like you said, shut your mouth, how do you
Right.
get to learn?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But let's switch gears a little bit.
Right, man.
Your annual African Give Back International Gala is just 20
Shot.
days away.
It's 20 days away, guys. 20 days. We got the flies on.
For those who don't know what, African, Give Back International is, could you please tell the listeners what that is?
Yeah, definitely. Africa, remember, guys, I said I have a science background as well. So this is where that creativity merges with fashion and to the arts and creative direction. Africa Gives Back International. It's my nonprofit organization. It's a 501c3.
Okay.
So, shout out to the 501c3s out there, or people
Yeah.
trying to get it. Y'all know the struggle. So, so the whole basis with this is to break the idea of people of color, really, Africans being seen as always asking for the continent or the diaspora and never giving. And that's not the case. We help so much. It's just that I think in African nature, we don't publicize what we're doing.
Facts.
We'll put it under the table and be like, look, I help this people. Doesn't matter how big or how small, if it's a school, if it's just a family member, we don't publicize it. That's just our culture. But the thing is, we got to merge that. We have to change that a little bit because people are believing now that Africa has really fallen behind. But when you really look into it, you see that our economies are growing. Our people are progressing just as fast as other developing nations. And that's what the purpose of Africa Gives Back International is. We hit on the different areas of education, health, development, and so on and so forth. The first year that we opened,
Yeah. What year was that, by the way?
that was 2014, 2015,
Okay.
during the Ebola outbreak. We were able to, with the team, of course, procure a cargo full of medical supplies. So this is medical equipment from anyone who's from this industry: iodine kit, birthing kits, surgical implements. I mean, alcohol kits. It's so much that it felt of almost a 40-foot container that we were able to help sponsor clinics in Sierra Leone, out in the northern and northeastern region. And the reason why we hit Sierra Leone first, because that was one of the countries that was affected at that time with the Ebola outbreak, that we don't focus only on Sierra Leone. That's just where I'm from. You got to start what you know. We also, the following year, it was education. So we actually were able to procure and distribute through our friends or other organizations that we've collaborated with, over 8,000 books for 6 different countries. And that wasn't only in Africa. So it was Cameroon was one of them. It was Nigeria, Sierra Leone. We even touched Ghana and even East Africa, Zambia, and Jamaica. So we're not only focused on Africa continent.
Yeah.
This is diaspora. So that could be even America at the end of the day. It could be anywhere. As of right now, our focus is, and what the water project is about, is actually to help fund West African water wells. As you guys know, you may not know, what is it? Every 15 seconds, a child dies because of drinking dirty water. I mean, these villages, they're just walking probably on average 6 miles, 12 miles back and forth, basically, and they're fetching dirty water, and then they can either die or they can either live or they can either get sick, and the whole family's just in trauma. So that's what we're here for now. We're starting in Sierra Leone, and then we want to go up and down the West African coast and go to other countries. We want to spread out. So that's our focus. And I mean, as of this year, we are actually glad and very honored to be working with Cynthia Bailey from The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She's a supermodel, and she's actually on Bravo TV right now, as one of the lead co-stars, or one of the lead stars on this hit series on a predominantly white network. So to hear that our fellow African American is helping out with people back home, it's just awesome.
Yeah.
It's just
That's
awesome.
epic. That's epic.
Yeah, man.
How much do you plan on raising in this, this gala?
I mean, I can tell you guys, Shoot, if we can have infinite so we can help the whole world, that's the key, because we can't really set a goal on how much. I can tell you that these wells and these projects, the way that we're trying to do it, they're over $10,000 each. So if we want to hit, like, every well at least assists 1,000 people in a village, at least.
Yeah.
So 500 to 1,000. And if we find, those very heavy areas that really need it, even if we're rebuilding, it could hit more. So our goal is by 2027 to at least hit 1 million people. So you guys can do the calculation from there, depending on inflation and all of that. Just gave you all an idea of what these projects cost.
So these are an ongoing project.
This is an ongoing project.
Okay.
So this is something that the organization is taking on going forward. We're still going to be able to help people with the education, the development goals, and different sort of things. But the main focus is water.
Yeah. I mean, for those who actually, were born and raised in Africa or, some other major country around the world where you had to walk to fetch water.
Right.
You would know the importance of actually having a well around you.
Right.
Because if you have to go stand in line,
That's
to get water from a public tap.
Right.
Like, that's really tedious. And if you had to go to the stream, to imagine
That's
waking
even
up
worse.
early in the morning to go carry water before you go to come shower and then go to
Thank you.
school.
Thank you.
It's yeah. So come out. Hey man, plug it in. Though.
Oh
Plug it
yeah,
in.
guys, it's July 14th at the Silver Spring Civic Center. Okay, July 14th. Come and get your life. There's different sort of tickets, student tickets. Oh, there's open bar, guys. Like open bar for the people who want to open the bar. Then also there's food. Food will definitely be on fleek. We really don't play with that. It's Afro-Caribbean. We don't play with food whatsoever. I mean, people come dressed in the nines. Girls are coming through, man, with the long gowns. Guys are coming with their Ankara suits. We don't play. This is our third annual. So last year we had it at Martin's. This year we're doing like a great job with the Silver Spring Civic Center. I mean, it's gonna be an experience. There's even gonna be like a simulated water walk, so people can feel what does it really feel like walking, at least from that end to that end with these buckets. So those containers, this thing is super interactive, guys. Y'all gotta come through. To get the tickets, it's at Africa, so AFRICA, G as in God, B as in boy, I as in igloo, .org/gala. So africagbi.org/gala. Tickets are there. Check it out. And I think, yes.
Yeah, to make it easy, just go to, Troy.
There you go. Troy.Massa. Yeah. Find me on IG. See everything there. Yeah. Everything's down there. Yeah.
I was just gonna ask. I mean, you probably touched on this, but let's do it again.
Please.
What can people expect in this gala that wasn't in the last one or the previous?
Yeah. So this one, man, is gonna be some serious trouble in a good way. It's a problem. So besides the simulated water walk, the celebrity herself is gonna be there. We have, I can't reveal so much, but we have like the most grand opening. Like the first thing you see, all I can say is that it's gonna be popping. Like the dancing is gonna be popping. Everybody's going to be able to dance. Everybody's going to be able to have like the interactive experience. I just can't give so much away. There will be special giveaways, special swag bags with like Ankara socks. There's Ankara couture, like teddy bears. Like we're really going all out on this. What else is there? Dooney, the artist. I don't know if any of you guys know Dunio. She's definitely came through on board with us. She's actually releasing her collection of her gold art pieces. As you guys know, she's a huge influencer. She's great in the community. For our event planning, it's done by the one and only FTK. So check her out, FTK Connects. If y'all see these weddings, these Nigerian, these Cameroon, like these dope West African weddings and these dope African events, that's FTK. So when y'all see those glimmer and glamour type stuff, that's FTK. She's in there. A lot of from like our last gala to this one, we have a lot of special guests. I mean, Stuck in the Middle is obviously in there. Y'all
Bet.
in there, Joan.
Yeah.
But we have like Labby by CK is gonna be there. Miss All Things. Oh, what do you call her? Nikki.
Babyface Assassin.
Babyface Assassin, aka All Things Anchor is gonna be in there. I mean, we have over 20. Like we have a lot of influencers that's gonna be up in there. So you guys definitely need to come through, network. It's a great networking opportunity. Come and slay for the girls. I mean, come and slay for the guys too. Cause I'm gonna be dressed up. I never let down with that one. So yeah.
So pretty much come clean and correct.
Come clean and correct.
Yeah, man.
Come clean and correct, please. Because people, we don't want someone starting an IG page saying the ones that have not slayed or something. Yeah.
I was gonna ask Nikki, last time she was here, probably did, but I can't remember. But since you're a creative director, I'm gonna ask you anyways. You guys do all things in Carol, right?
Yes.
And one of the famous pieces you guys have done is the shoot with Jadena.
Yes.
Have you guys ever thought about having like an Ankara fashion police type thing? Like you get to tell those who didn't do it right, give your opinions to what was wrong with the outfit, what's popping with it.
I don't think it's our place to do that. One, because everybody style is fluid, so people can do whatever they want. So for me to be like, hey, yo, that junk don't look good, or you should have wore green, or you should have did, it's none of my business. So because that's the thing with being a creative and expressing yourself with fashion. It's whatever you feel comfortable. I can't tell you it doesn't look good. I may not like it, but does that mean the world needs to know I don't like it?
Right.
Not necessarily.
That's dope.
Yeah. So I personally don't think that that would even reflect good on the brand, because that's not what All Things Anchor is about.
So you're saying that, in other words, like the Americans, when they do their fashion policing, you think that's wrong?
I don't. I think that's their platform, like the networks you're talking about. I think that's their platform. They have a place for it. It's just critiquing. They just put on a wider outlet. But I think for us personally, or I can speak for myself, I don't think it's my opinion counts there. My opinion is my opinion. I don't think I need to let other people know, oh, you don't look right. And this is why I'm going to put you down. I don't think that's my place, personally.
Let's go back a little bit.
Yeah.
In starting something, like unless your parents are like a millionaire or something, like it's pretty hard to take something from ground up.
Right.
And you get to a certain point in time and you just, with all the ideas, you get really frustrated and you feel like throwing the towel.
Right.
Could you speak a bit on, a moment like that in time for you?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know about throwing in the towel. I would say like not knowing if if the visions were going where I needed it to go. And you don't know until somebody sometimes says, oh, hey, I saw this of you. That little thing, it helps you with confidence. You don't need it per se, but when you hear that, you're like, oh, okay, so people are seeing my work, or people are seeing things that I'm involved in. That's what I could say. I don't think you should throw in the towel, because you can always keep something as your hobby, which may actually turn into your real career or your real profession. Just don't throw things. Just like you don't, just don't throw them away.
Don't throw things.
Yeah, don't throw things away.
Just stack them up.
Yeah, just stack them up.
Like a grandpa.
Stack them up.
Stack them up. As a creative director, right, what has been your greatest accomplishment this far? Like that one thing when you look back at it, like, man, I did that. And that just pushed you, to keep going.
I would say connecting with great people. Like, it's great networking. It's just great networking, to network with people of different walks of life, from corporate to the arts. It's just, I think that's one of the greatest things. It's not I don't have a project that's my favorite, because they're all basically my favorite. But I would say connecting with people like you guys, it's just great to see the youth like coming up. And when people look at you guys just like they do with me, they're like, oh, so how old are you? You're in your No, I'm in this age range, and they're just like surprised, like, oh wow, how did you do this?
Right.
I mean, you got to be determined.
Yeah.
You got to be determined.
Determination is key, huh?
Yeah, yeah, man.
You just recently got, a little piece, on, was it Forbes? They wrote
Oh.
something about you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How
Well,
was
it
that,
wasn't
man?
a little piece.
Well, I mean, definitely was not. It was not.
They
But
did a full scale article.
that was big, man.
Yeah, man. I appreciate
How'd
it.
that make you feel?
It was nice. It was great.
So you didn't
I
have
was
a big head from it or nothing?
No.
You sure?
Nah. I don't know. But it's not a small piece.
Now, how did it make you feel, though? How did it make you feel?
It was great for Glamour South Africa to reach out and to do an article on me and actually state that I'm one of the top young creatives from the continent of Africa. That's really big, and shout outs to them for just looking for all of the creatives out there, because that was huge. That was huge to me. And I'm very grateful, because it wouldn't have been possible without like working with people like you guys and just networking and connecting, because that's the only way. That was the only way, man.
Yeah, man. Continent of Africa, that's pretty huge considering the amount of cultures we have
Yeah.
in the continent of Africa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
actually
to be-
stand out, yeah.
To get that recognition from South Africa,
Mhm.
which I've never been to South Africa, that means like social media is really working.
Yeah, it is.
Social media is really working.
If you know what to do with
Yeah.
it. Yeah. That's pretty dope, man. Congrats, bro.
Thanks, man.
Many more to come, right?
And got Jesus' name, okay.
Is there something that you plan on doing, say this year, next year, in terms of creation that you want people to see? Like it's a must see.
Mhm.
Whether you paying attention, that it's a must see. I mean, I know I'm trying to put you on the spot to
No. Yeah.
bring out these ideas, but for watchers, just plug in one, something that you really wanted to do that you haven't done yet.
I don't know. But what I will say is that we have something that's about to unroll. We're about to bring it out for the gala. As you guys know, we always do campaigns. So we did actually do a campaign with the celebrity as well. So that one's about to roll out soon.
Can I guess? If I guess it right, would you say yes?
Yeah, sure.
You sure?
Yeah.
Is it, well, first off, is it male or female?
Well, you already know the celebrity.
Well, I mean, is it male or female?
Female.
Female. Oh,
Yeah.
well, I can't guess there. That would be far fetched, man.
Uncle, you're funny. So there is with Cynthia Bailey, the
Uh-huh.
supermodel and the Real Housewives of Atlanta celebrity. We actually did a great campaign. I can show you, but I can't show you guys. So I just want to show him something real quick off camera. So give me show you. I'll show you something from the BTS. Then you let me know what's what.
And while we're waiting
Yeah.
for that, where do you see African fashion in the next 5 years?
Oh, growing. Fashion now is not just what you're wearing, it's what are you using. I mean, this table to me is fashion because it's a design. So what are designs? I think anything you use, anything you wear, anything you're touching is fashion at this time. I see fashion as a design and a statement. I think African fashion or African wear is going to even get bigger because we have more. We're being noticed more.
Mhm.
Our creatives are being noticed more. People of color are being noticed more. With different things like that actually help us progress, like movies like Black Panther. Not saying we weren't already on, but it just helps. Things like Black Panther, it opens up different avenues to the diaspora, to people in Europe, to people in the Americas, to see like, oh my gosh, I've never seen this before. I've never seen this fabric like what you
Right.
have on before. What is that? Where are you from? Where can I get that? It's gonna open different avenues, and I think with that said, the economy of African markets just on fashion alone is going to probably rival others, the European markets most definitely, because people now want to be a little more colorful. They want to have a little more fun with
Yeah, I
what
feel
they're
like
wearing.
it also opens room for dialogue.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
definitely.
And speaking of dialogue, what's your take on culture appropriation?
Culture in what terms?
I mean, well, for example, recently, for example, Bruno Mars.
Yeah.
You know, he had, was it a video? Yeah, some video, and everyone's like, oh, he culture appropriation. Just kept throwing it out there, and to me personally, I didn't see anything wrong with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like he felt like doing it. He
Right.
did it. What's the
Right.
beef? You know, everybody's doing it. So what's the beef?
Um, I think it's very tricky. It's very tricky because I think it depends on how it's being used. I don't know what the whole creative with Bruno Mars thing was. He's a great artist. He's a great artist.
Yeah.
He's doing great things, and he is a person of color as well. So it's just like it's very tricky to say what's culturally appropriate.
Well, let's just say, for example, an Asian person rocking,
Okay.
like Ankara fabric, and not,
Their own traditional
yeah,
wear.
you know,
Well, at
or
that-
not that, or not,
Right.
you know, paying, you know,
Right.
rights to
Homage to-
yeah, homage,
okay.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, I have to correct this. I think Nikki probably did this already. Well, Ankara, you guys already know. If you don't, it's something that we've adopted as Africans. It wasn't a fabric that was created for Africans originally. It was actually created for different markets. However, I think with our African cultures, since we're so colorful and we like to be vibrant and have fun, we've adopted it. I know in Cameroon, you guys have a particular fabric, right?
Yep.
What is it called?
I don't know. We got a couple.
Yeah,
Is it Togo or something like that? Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So there's different ones for the different ethnic
Tribes,
different
yeah.
tribes. So the same in Sierra Leone, we have like a fabric as well, and I know Nigeria has several. Like everyone has their own.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna switch it from Ankara. Let me say to like our real traditional
Right.
fabric. If they were to do that, at the end of the day, it's a fashion. It's a fashion. So what I would say is if it's a big platform though, I would say they should at least credit and say like, oh, this fabric was inspired from, or this was inspired from, let's say it was a magazine, right? And they couldn't credit anybody. Be like, oh, the inspiration came from X, Y, and Z country or X, Y, and Z region of the world. I think that's the best way to avoid cultural appropriation. But for Bruno Mars, I can't say anything because I don't know what the creative was.
Right,
I don't
right,
know
right.
what the concept board. I don't know really what they were going
Yeah.
for. Yeah.
That was just an example, by
Yeah,
the
but
way.
that was
Yeah.
a good one.
Where do you see Troy in 5 years?
I see me with other people like you guys progressing in this industry and touching more markets and having more people to see us for what we are as individuals and say, wow, these are multifaceted individuals. If you put them in any environment, they're able to adapt. So, yeah.
Solid. For that one kid, you know, who wants to become a creative,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, a fashion curator.
Right.
By the way, what is a curator? I forgot to touch on that. You know, like a brand curator. Like, let's talk about that a little bit. What is that?
So a brand curator is someone who, once again, like a creative director, has a vision. Let's say you have a vision for your brand, and I have a vision on how to progress it. And they curate, like an art curator of a museum. They have an idea and they place it out there. The vision is it works together with what the museum wants and what the artist or the art curator wants. So that's what a brand curator is. They're helping you progress with their own, sauce, and then your own sauce, and then you put it together. And the curator is the one that says, all right, here, let's market it this way. Let's market it this way. Let's show it this way and see if this works. That's what a brand curator is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So for that one kid who's out there who wants to become a brand curator,
Right.
a fashion director, or wants to open their own 501c,
Right.
say, you know what I mean? Like, what advice do you have for them?
I would say do as much research as possible and look into other people, like you were saying earlier, who have done it and see if you could learn from them. Try to even do it better than them. Not saying that you're putting someone down, but try to always do better than the last person, humbly, of course, and just do your research. Like, really do your research and see, don't look for faults, but when you do research, you will see faults. You'll say, oh, okay, they could have done it like this way. So maybe, because you never know, they may call you and say, you know what? You're doing the same thing I'm doing, but how did you do it like this? Oh, okay, let's figure it out. This is the way I did it.
Right.
You have to always be humble and do your research, like seriously, and don't let anyone put you down when it's just not going your way, or if you're not sure. You have to have confidence in yourself. If you don't have confidence in yourself, nobody else will, and nobody will take you seriously. And it's okay to say no. That's one thing that's really hard for people to say. It's okay to say no after you've done your research and once you've weighed out your options. So,
How do you handle failure?
failure, I don't believe in failure. I believe in challenges because you can overcome them. I believe in those challenges, you can even change them for the next time. You learn from them. Failure is when you don't learn from your mistake. So if you don't learn from something you've done, let's say 3 times, and you've never changed it, that's considered failure because you didn't learn from the first time, the third time, the fourth time, etc. That's a bad habit. So that's what I don't believe in failure, because you have to always be open to learn something different and to be able to let people critique you, because people definitely can critique.
No,
But
they will. Not
yes,
can,
or
they
will. And you have to listen to that, because when you don't listen to that, sometimes it's just nonsense. But you still got to listen, because sometimes there's fact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's facts.
Yeah, that's facts, man.
If you had to go back to, let's say, your 15-year-old self,
Yeah.
what advice would you give that guy?
Keep going.
Just keep going.
Keep going.
So everything has been how you planned so far.
Life is not, I don't think there's like a straight path or a wide path or a sideways path to life. You have to make it the best for you. So I don't think if I were to go back in time and tell myself, oh, you got to do it like this, got to do it like that. Who's to say the future's still going to be the same when you
Facts.
reach there?
Facts.
So you better just continue processing forward. So,
What is success to you?
success is seeing myself and others progress in this world. I know you guys heard me say that like twice already, but that's what it is. That's what it is. Because when you
So-
see everybody else around you and yourself going up and progressing, I mean, that's beautiful. To call a friend or to call you guys and be like, hey, y'all want to do this? Oh, yeah, let's do it, because it's going to be this great effect on this and that. That's what it is. That's success.
Dope.
Yeah.
What is one person you would love to work with that you haven't yet? Or a brand?
A lot of people.
Damn.
Yeah. A lot of people.
He just speaks in general terms. Like,
No, I think because I can't pinpoint, because if I say one, I'm going to change it and say, you know what? Actually, it's a list. I like lists. So it's like it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people, man. It's a lot of people. If they are here today, can I take it all on? No. But we will organize it.
most
So
def.
it works out.
Most def. Well, Troy, man, it's been a pleasure
Yeah,
chatting with
man.
you. You know, I mean, I wish Flex was here. I know he wanted to, get to meet you as well, because he has some ideas and stuff. But hopefully, he's going to reach out to you in a bit.
Of course.
Yeah, most def. Hey, let's plug in, the websites again, how people can donate to African Give Back International and how they can find the tickets as well.
All right, guys. So Africa Gives Back International Gala, July 14th, July 14th, 2018, Silver Spring Civic Center. Come ready. Website is africagbi.org/gala. You can look me up on IG as well, troy.massa. Just go on there. You'll see everything there. You'll even see the organizations link mentioned. You can click on it to learn some information about the gala and the org and what I do.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate you coming on the show, Troy.
Yeah.
Hey, definitely looking forward, to this international gala from past pictures, not experience, but from past pictures and videos, man. It looks like it's really leady. So,
Well, y'all gonna be up in there anyway. So.
hey.
Oh yeah, they're coming as press. So make sure y'all come through, because they're definitely coming through as
Yeah,
press.
I better come correct too.
Yeah.
Hey man, thanks for coming
Thanks,
on.
man. I
what I mean?
appreciate it,
No
man.
doubts. This episode is brought to you by Perfect Office Solutions in partnership with Perfect Office Solutions, providing affordable, professional, and flexible office space starting at just $4.99. Hit them up. Use promo code SITM Podcast to get 10% off your monthly lease. That's SITM Podcast to get 10% off your monthly lease. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at SITM Podcast. Like us on Facebook, SITM Podcast. Follow us on IG, Twitter, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, SITM Podcast. Review, leave us some reviews, comments. We'd love to hear from you. SITM Podcast 237 is the email. At gmail.com is the email, rather. Next week, we're going to be sitting down with Petra Ovia. I hope I didn't butcher that name because, hey, this guy out here is a butcher. We just butcher names. She is the founder and CEO of Natural Osei LLC. So, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to this one.
Cool.
Troy, again, thanks for coming through. No doubt, man.
So
Until next time, we're stuck in the middle, and we out.
All right.